time. 144, bitch.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole guard. Yeah, know they call me Obi-Wan. I go hard. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord. So that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about any part. I need a Vaseline like I need a puffer for it, so Kazak watch the door. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Sharp. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harper. Try to hope he's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking note. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them U.P.K rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the fart. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord. So that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas. Get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the cow. Then with the speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad. Got them tied down and outdone. You can't do with them steppers. Niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands. Bitch like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole court. Yeah, ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low. So that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. And I just made it call. We gon' start another war. Yeah. On 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop like I'm steady, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how it he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried. I got rank for real, I got rigor soldiers, kill for me, nigga. Watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, the firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the field like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel. I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it. Got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried. I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jordan. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. U.P.K top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that E-car line into a damn tank. Now turn the headphones up just a little bit. Yo.
So up for y'all with dawn. 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 So up for y'all.
When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east.
I used to wake up every morning, boy, and all I seen was mess. Plus the shit that I was dealing with, all I seen was stress. Now I really know the truth, and I understand what hurting niggas. Beast of the fields, they eat us up, and they hurting you. BK is what I'm repping. Zion means a weapon. Some of you niggas playing, but me, I'm really stepping. The mission that I'm on is waking up all our people. Show them we are the greatest. Nothing about a sequel. Them heathens, they gon' learn. Them heathens, they gon' burn. Esau is about to fall, then Jacob is all turned. They been fucking with the chosen, so they gotta pay. Revelation 13 and 10. Tell me, what does it say?
So up for y'all with dawn. So up for y'all with dawn. So up for y'all with dawn. So up for y'all with dawn.
When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east.
The blood that's in my veins descends straight from the greatest. All of my tools is blow, but that 40 know it's my favorite. And we losing all our babies to this crazy shit we represent. The money and the world, nigga, this crazy shit ain't making sense. We the children of the light, and we fighting all the darkness. The way I'm stacking ammo, my bitches thinking I'm heartless. Them devils get to smiling, got you thinking that he harmless. Remember Oklahoma? That is where them cracker bombs. The pain will make you wake up. You know they really hate it. They turn the truth into a lie. That's the shit they gotta pay for. The mission that I'm on is waking up all our people. Show them we are the greatest. Nothing about a sequel. Yeah.
So up for y'all with dawn. 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 So up for y'all with dawn.
When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. Before you go to war, y'all, you better turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east. When I say my prayers, I gotta turn to the east. Turn to the east. Turn to the east.
We're the I.S.U.P.K started at 1 West. I got a strong enough voice. Shalom, shalom, shalom. If you did not know, now you know, man. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. This is our Lashawan Qadash class, which is the holy tongue, right? We're going to be teaching you guys how to speak the ancient Hebrew today. We're going to go over words, subjects. This class, we normally go over words, subjects, alphabets, and things that pertain to our culture anciently, specifically being the alphabet and our language, our tongue that was taken from us and stripped from us as we were taken into captivity in many different slaveries, right? So today we're going to focus on two words, right, which are very, very, very precedent in today's time and are very important that Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans hold strong to and hold fast to, right? So the two words that we're getting into today. My bad, man. My afro going crazy. Y'all ain't even tell me my afro lopsided. Good Lord. Brotherhood is a weapon, ain't it? Nah, but anyway, today's words are going to be considerate, consideration, and compassion, which is two things that Black Hispanics and Native Americans have to have in today's time and age. Because in doing so, we'll understand the plight that each one has in every different situation. What do I mean by that? Us having compassion in the I.S.U.P.K and consideration, we'll think before we act. Having compassion and consideration gives you a mind to act, a mind to do things. If you do not have those things, what will you do? You will then act off of what? Emotion and how you feel. And you'll do what? You'll put your feelings before someone else's. You'll put how you would have done it above somebody else. You'll think about yourself more than you think about somebody else. Who teaches us to do that? America. And what is that way of life? What is that way of thinking? That way of thinking makes you selfish. That is a very selfish way to think, a very, very selfish way to live. And here in the I.S.U.P.K, we're here to break those strongholds and break being selfish and break being just American. You know what I mean? So we're going to get these definitions. If I can, somebody in the class give me the definition of consider. To consider or considerate. Give me the definition of considerate. What does it mean to be considerate in the what do you call it? Dictionary. What does it mean to be considerate? To have consideration. What does that mean?
This is considerate out of the Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Marked
by or given to careful consideration.
What's the next one?
Thoughtful of the rights and feelings of others.
Oh, wait, that's the one I want. What is that? Read it nice and loud.
Thoughtful of the rights and feelings of others.
Thoughtful of the rights and feelings of others. That's what it means to be considerate. To be considerate it means to be thoughtful of the rights and what of others?
Feelings of others.
Rights and feelings of others. Who needs consideration most in today's time? Who needs consideration most? Thoughts of feelings of others. Who needs that more than anybody? I'll tell you who. Black Hispanics and Native Americans. They need consideration more than anything. But you know what's wrong with us? We have not been taught consideration because no one was considerate of us. No one considered the hell that we were going through, and they taught us not to consider the hell that other people of our race and culture are going through as well. Look at the Hispanics. Us in the I.S.U.P.K, we are considerate about the hell that they're going through on the border in San Diego, in New York, in California, in North Carolina. We are considerate about our brothers, our Hispanic brothers that are going through hell right now in today's time. Again, if y'all are in the class, man, please like, share, and subscribe to the class, man. If you're in the class, if you share the class, if you share it on any social media platform, please go to the social media platforms. Up under the social media platforms, up under your post, tag at highlights and at followers to help spread this algorithm throughout the earth. Again, this is so important, man. Today's words, topics of the day is to be considerate and to have compassion. These are the words of the day, man. Let these sizzle in your spirit, man. Let this burn in your heart, Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. We have to have consideration and we have to be compassionate. Why? Because no one did it for us. Imagine your child never had something. Everybody says they want their child to be better than them, right? You want your child to have a better life than you. You want your child to grow up stronger than you, wiser than you. You want your daughter to grow up more wholesome than you, more adequate to sustain society than you. Everybody wants their children to be better, but we got to realize what makes the children better than us. We got to teach them things that we were not taught. One of the things that Black Hispanics were never taught were consideration. Another one was compassion. We wasn't taught to be considerate of others. We wasn't taught to think about certain things in a manner to where we negate our feelings, but we think about how they feel about it. For example, we got a holiday coming up called Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving, to most people, it seems like a joyous time, a time to come together, love one another, put a turkey in the oven, cook it on the stove. Let's have a festive day. Let's hug and join hands with one another because we don't see our family throughout the year. So we look at it as this is a time of joy and happiness. Well, there's a group of people that don't look at it like that. There's a group of people that mourn every day, that day of the year, every day that day rolls around. Those people cry and they mourn. And they remember something way different than what we're taught. We were taught it's a day to love one another, a day to hold hands, be jolly, and come together because it's the one day that we got off for a year. They were taught their history in that day. They were taught the graping, the unaliving, and the slaughtering of their people on that day. They're taught that. You know why? Because that day was a grave massacre of that group of people. So that group of people that do not celebrate that day every day that year, they don't celebrate a damn thing about that day. You know why? Because they consider their people. They consider their forefathers. They consider their great-great-great-grandmothers, great-great-great-grandfathers, great-great-great-great-granddaughters. They have consideration because it was beaten into them. They don't have a choice. Just like black people, a lot of black people, they don't have a choice but to be considerate when their great-granddad was hung from a tree. They are considerate about certain things. Us as black people, we were taught not to be considerate, which is why we will go and we'll celebrate. When is Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving is on what, the 25th? Hey, Salakia, when is Thanksgiving?
Salak, it's the 27th.
The 22nd?
7th.
27th, right? We won't be considerate on that day. We'll just go and we'll cut up a apple pie, put a turkey in the oven, and we'll have a joyous day, happy-go-lucky, shaking hand in hand and dancing. You know why? Because we've been taught to be inconsiderate. If we were considerate, we would throw the damn turkey in the trash. If we were considerate, we'd throw the damn ham hock in the trash. We would say to hell with Thanksgiving because that's the celebration of a unaliving massacre of my people, of a group of people. And if you're human, just say you shouldn't celebrate it just because it's a group of people. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, you shouldn't celebrate it because it's your people. But just being human, let's keep it on America stand for. Let's keep it on America playing ground. If you're American and you have any kind of compassion, you should understand that that's a group of people that were unalived on that day. How dare you celebrate it? You're going to celebrate the unaliving of a mass group of people, a group of people that were peaceable, that helped the Americans colonize, that taught the Americans how to hunt, how to wash, and you unalive them. And you will celebrate that. That's inhumane, I would think. But America teaches this, man. But the I.S.U.P.K and the Community YAHANNA, we teach you how to be considerate of those things, to think about it as if those are your people. Think about it as if those were your children. Think about it as if it was you. You get what I'm saying? They said that those people, when Christopher Columbus came over here, he said this is a peaceful people, and he knew that he could take advantage of them. So what did he do? He gave them smallpox blankets filled with smallpox. Salakia, hold on. We got questions in the chat. What's the questions in the chat? It says, Dejan got a question, says, Salakia, do we use a name for the fourth month? I don't know what you mean by that, brother. Give a little bit more elaboration. What do you use for the fourth month? Give a little bit of elaboration, man. What's that next question? Salakia, move to say, what's that? Yakazar? Okay. Hey, shalom to everybody in the class, man, tuning in, man. Give yourselves a hand, man. Give yourselves a hand for tuning in, man. Taking time out of your Friday. You could be laid up, man. You probably is laid up, but you got the class on. So why you have shot? Shalaki. You know what I mean? But consideration, man. This is the main thing. One of the main things that the I.S.U.P.K teaches, man, is to be considerate and to have consideration. The word for consider in Hebrew is ra'ah, right? Ra'ah. This is the Ra, Ah, and a Ha. Ra'ah. This is the ancient. This is the Assyrian. So this is Ra'ah and it's Ra'ah in the Hebrew. It means to be considerate, right? To have consideration. Ra'ah. The next word we're going to get into is compassion. What does it mean to have compassion? Somebody in the class, what does it mean to have compassion? Yeah, that's what we got a class for.
This is compassion out of the Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Uh-huh.
Sympathetic consciousness of others, distress together. It's like sympathetic consciousness of others' distress together with the desire to alleviate it.
You said read it again?
Sympathetic consciousness of others' distress together with the desire to alleviate.
Sympathetic, man. To be sympathetic. Yeah, Salaki, let me read the brother. What did brother question say? He said, the one they caused Tammuz after the third month, Sayawan. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. They called Tammuz. They the fake Jews. Oh, Tammuz. I'm not sure, brother. What you asking? Salaki. I'm not sure. Salaki. What I'll do is I'll copy your question, I'll write it down, and I'll send it out, but I don't understand what you're saying. To suffer with. That's right. To suffer with. That's to have compassion. It's to suffer with. Read the direct definition again, nephew. Compassion definition. We got to have this, man. This is so important. Go ahead.
Sympathetic consciousness of others' distress together with the desire to alleviate it.
Sympathetic consciousness that you have for others so that you can alleviate the pain. That's what compassion is. When you see somebody hurting on the street, your children, they hurt their leg. Your children, they had a bad day at school. Your daughter, she fell and hurt her knee. That feeling that comes over you, that's called compassion. You know who lacks that? America. You know who they teach to lack it? Black Hispanics and Native Americans through Christianity. We are taught to not have compassion in this society by America and by Christians, day in and day out. You don't think I'm lying? Go ask every couple that the Christian church allowed to divorce. That's a lack of compassion right there. When you marry somebody, it's till death do you part. It's not to when I'm mad at you too much. It's not to when you slash my tires. It's not to when that butt starts stinking wanking. It's not to when I start going bald in the middle of my head. It's till death do you part. But the Christian church will have you not having compassion for one another, and you'll think that your feelings are above the relationship that you made between you and quote unquote God. They have you thinking that your feelings matter more than the Bible, more than the law. Well, we're going to teach you today, man, what compassion and consideration really means. Compassion in the Hebrew is kamalu. I got to connect that. Shalaka. Kamal. Kamal. It's Kamal in the Hebrew. Kamal. Let me spell it for you. Shalaka. Kamal. Kamal in the Hebrew. Let me see what this brother what did he say? Compassion means having empathy for other people. That is correct. That is correct. Give yourselves a hand, man. Y'all tune in the class, man. Y'all on it. And these are small words, but they're very important in learning who you are and being diligent in serving the Lord. Because without these two tools, these two words, you cannot serve the Lord. absolutely cannot serve the Lord. Give me Proverbs 4 and 7. You absolutely have to understand these two things if you want to do anything and gain any kind of residency in the eyes of the Lord, gain any kind of love in the eyes of the Lord. And this is a thing that we lack in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American. I know definitely I did. I grew up in a society where brothers grew up coming out the womb drug addicts. You ever seen a heroin baby or crack baby? They come out shaking because they're addicted to that said drug. I grew up where they grew up, they came out like that, and they still proceeded to grow up and sell those same drugs to their said mama, to their aunties, to their uncles, to other people's mothers. It's called Stockholm syndrome, man. That's a product of slavery, man. That's a product of being oppressed. You put oppressed people in the cage for long enough, they're gonna begin doing the things that the oppressors do. You ever heard that scripture, man? Ye are of your father the devil. That's what that means, man. We've been oppressed for so long, we begin to follow their ways of life, do the things they do, fall and be comfortable in their ways of living, learn how to be how they are. And then when we get taught something different, we look at the other one that's teaching us different as if they're the fallacy. They're the ones that's wrong, which is what Christianity has become. Christianity is the biggest lie that white or Caucasians have ever produced in this world, man, that the Roman Catholic Church have ever pushed in history. Go ahead, read that when you got a chance. Proverbs 4 and 7.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing.
Wisdom is the principal thing. Now you think about the I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. stands for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. What does it mean to be practical, man? To be practical, to have logic behind what you're teaching. Practicality is like, let's get the definition of practicality. Practical. What does it mean to be practical? This is the language class today. We're going to get into definitions of words. What does it mean to be practical? We're going to see what the chat talking about. What does it mean to be practical, chat?
This is the definition of practical out of the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Capable of being put to use or account.
What's the next one?
Willing to see things as they really are and deal with them sensibly.
That's the one. That's the one. Willing to see things as they really are. 2 + 2 is 4. When the scriptures say that Christ was a black man, he said his skin was if you had what does it say? Brass as if it burned in the furnace. What does that mean? It's practical to think. Anything that you burn in the furnace, it turns what? Black. That's practical knowledge, man. We are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, man. This scripture says what? Proverbs 4 and 7 says what?
Wisdom is the principal thing.
Is the principal thing of what?
Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding.
Therefore, get wisdom, man. And with what?
And with all thy getting.
And all thy getting, get what?
Get understanding.
Get understanding, man. Understand these things, man. Whenever you learning from anybody, never leave not understanding. Whenever you learning something, never just leave and say, okay, I got it, when you don't really got it. Which is what's so important about learning how to teach this Bible, man. Black Hispanics and Native Americans go into church day in and day out every Sunday, sometimes Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, and they leave and they don't understand what they're being taught. They leave with a feel-good spirit, but then they leave out of there and they go do the same evil that they went in there doing. They leave out of it, they go in there a crackhead, or it's like a drug abuser, and they leave out a drug abuser. They go in there a whoremonger, they leave out a whoremonger. They go in there a whore, leave out of their whore. You know why? Because they leave, because they don't do what? Read it again.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding.
They get understanding. They leave out of there with the same principles that they went in there with the same understanding that they went in there with. They don't gain any wisdom when they go into them Christian church and Muslim mosques, man. They don't gain anything from that. Drop that and give me Proverbs 3 and 13. They don't go in there and gain any kind of wisdom and knowledge and how to be considerate, how to have consideration. They go in there the same selfish bastards that they were when they went in. Same thing about me. We go in the Christian church, man. The same way that we went in is the same way that we come out. I went in the Christian church a drug dealer, came out the same drug dealer. I know brothers. I had brothers and sisters who went in there whores and whoremongers, came out whores and whoremongers. You know why? Because we weren't taught consideration. We weren't taught compassion. I go in there and I'm sick. My mother's on drugs, and I'll sell drugs to somebody else's mother. I go in there a whoremonger. I go in there and take somebody else's daughter, but I'll tell my daughter not to be a whore. I go in there a drug dealer, and I'll tell my sons not to be a drug dealer, but then I come out to church and I sell drugs. We are taught to be hypocrites in the Christian church and not to have consideration on one another. Because when you selling them drugs, you selling them to somebody's family. When you're unaliving each other because of gangbanging, you're not having compassion on how their children gonna feel, how their mother and father gonna feel. We're taught to be incompassionate, to have no compassion, to have no consideration for one another. That's what Christianity does for you. We got something in the chat. Hold on. Salaki, do we lose Lashawan Qadash names for any of our months? Yeah, yes, we do have, I believe, I'm not sure about Hebrew names, but I know they have them in Greek. You have to ask Officer Kodam. That is a good question. I'll get back to you with it. But I think they're named after Grecians. I think it's from I think it comes from that culture. But yeah, we're gonna get it to Kodam. Yeah, but go ahead, read that when you got it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 17. Her ways are ways of pleasantness.
Who?
Her ways are ways of pleasantness. And all her paths are peace.
Are peace, man. That's talking about the truth, man. Understand this, man. When you following these law, statutes, and commandments, man, you're gonna have ways of passiveness, man. Ways of truth. You're not gonna have to fall to the wayside for anything. The truth is one way in and it's one way out, man. You get what I'm saying? The truth is the truth no matter who tell it. We got to understand this, man. Drop that and give me Proverbs 10 and 23. You get what I'm saying? Again, if you don't know who we are, man, we the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander Junior YAHANNA. Today is the Lashawan Qadash class. The brother Davon is having great questions, man. But shoot that to Kodam. Matter of fact, I'll have it for you on my next class. If I don't have it, if Kodam teaching this class, he'll have an answer for you, brother. Great question, man. Don't never be afraid to ask questions. Ever. That's the only way you learn. You know who do not ask questions? Christians. Christians do not ask questions. Christians go in that church not knowing what the hell you're talking about, and they leave out confused as hell as well. Always ask questions, man. Go ahead, read that when you got it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 23. It is as sport to a fool to do mischief. It's sport to a fool to do mischief. When you see them Hispanics, man, we're gonna talk about the Hispanics today. When those Hispanics, man, and we read an article today where the Hispanics that have joined ICE, that are locking up their brothers and sisters. They've joined ICE and took the I think it's like $50,000 what is it called? A $50,000 payout or sign-on bonus. They took that so that their families can be safe and they would lock up others, man. And that's a very sad thing. Hold on. It's like I said, being inconsiderate started from slavery as well. That's right. No, being inconsiderate did start for Black Hispanics and Native Americans started for slavery. That's where our inconsideration started. Matter of fact, it started before that, because if we were considerate in Egypt, if we were considerate during the Babylonian captivity, we would have never went into captivity. But because we lacked consideration and compassion, that's why we went into slavery, man. So no, I can't say
it kind of emphasized when we went into slavery, sis. Is that I don't know if that is that a sister or a brother? Salaki. Sister? Salaki, get it off of there. Yeah, that's a sister. Yeah, Salaki. It kind of emphasized when we went into slavery, but it started before. Black people have always been a stubborn group of people. Black Hispanics and Native Americans. We have always been a stubborn people. So it's time and time again that the Lord throws us into captivity because of our lack of these things, throws us into captivity because our lack of the integrity of the law, that we have to go through hell. But in sometimes in hell, these things get magnified and emphasized. So I can't say that it started in slavery, but it definitely was magnified in slavery. And we took it, and some of us took advantage of it and used it to our advantage so that we won't get harmed more than we saw our brothers and sisters get harmed. Which brings me to my point of what I was talking about with the Issacharites. You got certain Issacharites joining ICE just so that they can be, quote unquote, exonerated or looked over, and they will rather your family suffer than theirs. And that's not having compassion or consideration, man. That's not having ra'ah or kamal. That's not being a servant of the Lord, man. That's not being a warrior. That's not being a man. How dare me save my family from being slaughtered, from being thrown over that wall in the border, and take away 15 other families just for a piece of money and for a piece of mind that my daughter might get saved, my son might get saved. But I tell apart your family. You know where they were taught that from? Christianity. They were taught that from no one other than the oppressor. Who was the best at it, might I add? You know what I'm saying? Black Hispanics and Native Americans have always had a code of conduct and a way of life to live. We were taught differently only by the oppressor, only by the quote unquote white man, as you call him. That's who taught us different, man. If we came home and we stood on these law, statutes, and commandments as we were supposed to, and we stood on having ra'ah and kamal for one another, we would come back to these laws and we would rule this place, man. But sometimes the hell that we in, it messes with our mind. It breaks our moral conduct as to where now we begin to bend and act like the oppressor. We begin to do the things that he does to succeed. We begin to do and join sides with him so that we will have a lesser punishment than he's applying to all the other people. And that is wicked, man. And that's Christianity at its finest. And that is being a coward, man. And here in the I.S.U.P.K, man, we have no cowards and no excuses, man. And this is the Lord's work that we're doing. Read that again.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 23. It is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom.
Give me drop that and give me Luke 21 and 15. A man of understanding has wisdom. What does that understanding do for you? That understanding wakes you up to saying that this is my carnal. This is my brother. This is my dog. This is my youth. All kind of languages. The law, learning and understanding, it makes you think of what it could be if you were in that situation. If you were that group of people. If you were that person losing your baby. If you were that man who lost his baby at the border in a cage and they can't find his child for 3 years. If you was that person who lost their daughter and now your daughter is on the wall in Walmart right there by the restrooms. If you go look in Walmart right now, man, they got a missing wall report. 99% of those people missing on that border are Hispanics and blacks. 99% of them. And 80% of them are women. And then you go look at that, man. Consideration, man, and learning this wisdom, it'll have you thinking, dang, that could have easily been me. That could have easily been my child. That could have easily been my daughter, easily been my wife. But American society takes that away from you, man. American society, I have you being selfish, man. Have you being you, me. Selfish as hell. Read that when you get it.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 15. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom.
And the Lord, man, listen to this. I will give you a mouth and wisdom. That's what the Lord I.S.U.P.K. A mouth, and he's gaining wisdom. Wow, to speak it and shout it to the airways, and wisdom to understand and know what they're breaking down and know it to be true. Why is that so important? Because your Christian pastor has a mouth with no wisdom. Your Christian pastor can yell 24/7, 9 days a week, but no wisdom gonna come out his mouth. That's why the scriptures say, man, we cry aloud, man, and it said, though our words be rude, it don't lack in us, man. And that's talking about the I.S.U.P.K. But if you listen to the context of what we're saying, it makes sense. Compassion, to have compassion and consideration for one another, it makes sense. To think about your brother as yourself, it makes sense. To stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster because the Lord said it, it makes sense. And on top of the Lord saying it, it gives you gout and diabetes. It makes sense. Women, stop being whores and dress up accordingly. It makes sense. Not only you do that, it'll be a little bit less rape, robbing, and murdering in the society. It makes sense. Stop banging and unaliving your brothers and sisters. They got families as well as you. It makes sense. You're taking somebody from their family. You won't want to be taken from yours. It makes sense. People, don't commit suicide. Don't unalive yourself. Because that's a selfish type of behavior. You're going to alleviate yourself from the hells of the world, but you're going to hurt 1,000 other people. You're going to hurt your whole family, your friends, so on and so forth. It makes sense. Sometimes it hurts to hear the truth, but it makes sense. That's why we're the universal practical knowledge. It makes sense what we're saying, but your Christian pastor, it don't make sense. It just feel good. It just feel good. It's not practical what he's saying. Woman, that man ain't treating you right. The Lord will send you another one. That's not practical, man. That's stupidity. What you gonna do? Go. So he's basically telling you, go find the rod, go mess around with rods until you find out the one that the Lord gave you. That's disgusting, man. He teach our women to be whores. Brother, if that woman pissing you off, throw her away, go get another one. That's disgusting. He telling you that women ain't worth a damn. He telling you, look, every meat you eat in the world, you can just eat it as long as you pray over it. So I can go eat dog and cat now. No, you can't eat no dog and cat. So now you're picking and choosing. It don't make sense. It's not practical. It doesn't make sense. It lacks wisdom. He has a lot of mouth, but no wisdom. Read that again.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 15. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom.
He will give us mouth and wisdom. Keep going.
Which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
Which all your adversaries, man, will not be able to gainsay or resist. No one can come against the truth that the Bible has put into the I.S.U.P.K, man. Nobody can come against the truth of these law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High has bestowed upon these priests and prophets. No one can come against a John 3:16 breakdown. No one can come against a virtuous woman breakdown. No one can come against thou shalt not steal, unalive. No one can come against these. No one can come against the Levitical law of lepers. Nobody can come against what was written down before. You know why? Because we have the power of the Most High behind us. We have that. That's why the I.S.U.P.K has been standing tall since 1969. You know who hasn't? All these fake Christian Israelite groups. All these Christian churches that's falling down day in and day out. You finding pederasty going on in the Christian church. You finding drug dealing going on in the Christian church. You finding drug dealing going on in the Muslim mosque. You finding homosexuality going on in these fake Israelite groups. You finding all manners of evil, man. And you know why they crumbling? Because they cannot hold fast to this truth. They have a lot of mouth, but they lack that wisdom. And in doing so, what? Read that again, the ending part. After wisdom.
Which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
Because all of their adversaries can gainsay and resist them. They don't have anything to stand on. Whenever your foundation is lackadative, it's always a trickle in the armor. It's always something that somebody can pick at that'll have you wobbling at the feet. It's always something that somebody can say that'll knock you off your move. And that's what these groups have established. That's what these Christian groups, these Muslim mosques, so on and so forth, have established, is that they're not solid. They're not grounded. They're not founded on proper ground, right? They can be moved. They can be touched, which is why you ought to be grounded on solid ground, which is the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding Junior YAHANNA, man. You got to have a foundation. A good foundation is how you establish any great thing, man. Give me Hebrews 5 and 12. Understand this, man. Can y'all see? Can y'all hear me clearly and see me in the chat? Type of 1 in the chat if y'all can hear and see me clearly. This
is the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, verse 12. For For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracle of God.
You need what? From when you ought to be what?
For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Now listen, the scripture just said whenever you want to be a teacher, right? Whenever you got it in your mind that I want to teach the Bible, I want to understand the Bible, I ought to do what?
Ye ought to be teachers. Ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
That's right. And the sister said it best, man. Shalakia. This is important, man, what this sister just said. Ain't no thing, sis. But the sister said, she said, yes, sir, it's disgusting for men to change women like changing socks. Same with women changing men. That's so heavy, man. And that goes into this scripture. Because we were not taught right is why we do these disgusting things that Christians do, man. Why we do these disgusting things that America does. Why we do these disgusting things that the whole entire earth do is because we were not taught right. And it said because the teachers that we were taught by were not taught again. The scripture says, Hebrews 5:12 says, if one ought to be a teacher, he got to be taught again. One thing that we don't realize as Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans is that before we got to teach something, we got to unbrainwash ourselves, which is one of like my favorite breakdowns that I like to use, man. Brainwashing is not bad at all. Don't never think that. Brainwashing is a great thing. Absolutely awesome. Beautiful. It just depends on the soap that you use. Some people use good soap and dirty water. Some people use clean water and nasty soap. You got to use the right material to clean things, or sometimes it don't get clean. If you use bleach on black clothes, what happens to the clothes? They mess up, right? They don't be black no more. Sometimes they get that little yellow tan, like my brother Teeth. Sometimes if you don't use the right stuff on the right things, it messes up it. Same thing with this truth, man. If you're not learning from the right source, sometimes somewhere along the way, you're going to mess up something, man. Somewhere along the way, you're going to be off. Somewhere along the way, you're going to teach a false doctrine. Somewhere along the way, you're going to get something messed up. Somewhere along the way, you're going to think it's okay to throw that woman away because she pissed you off. Somewhere along the way, you're going to think it's okay to leave that woman for that other woman because this woman treats you better than her. Somewhere along the way, you're going to think it's okay to eat that other red meat, that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Just pray over it. Somewhere along the way, you're going to find comfortability in your sin, man. If you're not being taught right, the scriptures say if you want to be a teacher, ye ought to be taught again. Keep going.
Which be the first principles.
Which be the second.
Which be the first principle.
Which be the third.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God, man. If you Black, Hispanic, and Native American, man, and you grew up in the Christian church and you're really trying to come and serve the Lord, you got to remember this first, man. Whenever you come to serve the Lord, the person that's teaching you got to be taught again. And if he's teaching the same thing that been passed down for 600 years in that Christian church, man, that's been destroying millions and millions of families per year, you need to get on out of there, man. Your teacher has to be taught again, has to be retaught, has to be re-brainwashed into learning what? The truth of who he is, the truth of these lost statutes and commandments, the truth about being compassionate and considerate, the truth about being kamal and ra'ah, having consideration and compassion. You got to be taught that, man. No one else is teaching that but the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General YAHANNA, man. No one else. Give me read that again.
For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
That's right. Drop that and give me Proverbs 19 and 20. Understand, man, these scriptures are heavy, man. These scriptures are used for our learning and our understanding, man. Through patience and comforts of the scripture, we might have hope. What's that hope? That hope is that one day Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans will rule over this damn place, man. The scriptures say when the righteous rule, the earth rejoices, but when the wicked rule, the earth is mourning. Look at the condition of the earth today. Look at Russia. Look at Japan. Look at America. Look at us on these snaps, food stamps. We're mourning. The whole entire earth is mourning. Flint, Michigan, they still got dirty water. That's crazy, man. It's 2025. Black, Hispanics, Native Americans are still getting hung from trees. The whole entire earth is in mourning. Why? Because the wicked is ruling. The wicked is ruling this place, and the people are mourning. But the scriptures say when the righteous rule, who are the righteous? The righteous are the ones following these laws, statutes, and commandments under the Most High power. The righteous are the ones that understand having ra'ah and kamal for one another is so important, and that's how you build a nation. Having compassion and consideration for one another, that's how you build a kingdom. That's how you build a righteous kingdom. To where what? To where now, if I'm rich and you're poor, you'll still have a pot to piss. If I'm rich and you're poor, you'll still have a place to eat. If I'm rich and you're poor, you'll still have a place over your head. That's what it means to when the righteous rule. Right now, you look at the rich of the nation, and look at the condition of the poor people. They gotta sleep on the bridges, man. They gotta sleep in dog houses. They gotta sleep in cages. They gotta be treated like animals because they have nothing, man. That's what it looks like when the wicked are ruling this place, man. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, if you're anybody in the earth, you better pray that the Lord wakes up more Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you better pray that he puts Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans over this earth, man. You better pray for that, man, because that's the only way that you'll have any kind of substance in this society. That's the only way that this world will rejoice, man, is if Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans rule it. Read that when you get it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19. Verse 20.
Yep.
Hear counsel.
Hear counsel, man. Listen, man. What does it mean to hear? Hear means to understand. Open up your ears, man. Think about what is being said. Take heed to. Go ahead.
And receive instruction.
And receive instruction. What is instruction? Guidance, wisdom, understanding. Receive it, right? Listen to it and receive it. Go ahead.
That thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
That must be what?
Wise.
Stupid.
Wise.
Ignorant.
Wise.
Confused.
Wise.
Stubborn.
Wise.
Wise.
In thy latter end.
In thy latter end. What is the latter end? You know?
Like
the latter part of something. You got
the later part, like when you like grow up.
Yeah, when you grow up in your later days. Get that brother hand, man. When you grow up, man, that's your latter parts, right? So as you're a child, which is so beautiful about these children in class today, they're learning and they're hearing counsel and they're receiving the instructions so that in their latter parts of their life, they're gonna have wisdom. They're going to have hope. They're going to have understanding of these scriptures. They're going to understand why Abba took them to class every Friday. They're going to understand why Abba got to go missing every Saturday to go teach the words of the Lord. They're going to understand why Uncle Bada up here screaming at the top of his lungs and losing his voice. They're going to understand, man, the importance of teaching these words of the Lord. They're going to understand that they see on the news every day that Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are getting thrown in cages and getting slew from trees. They're going to see back in 2025 that their brothers and sisters were getting thrown in deportation vehicles and took over the border while the I.S.U.P.K was hiding them and feeding them. They're going to see the importance of that. You know why? Because we taught them while they were young and they heard the counsel so that in their latter parts that they'll have understanding of why said things were happening. Right? Give me Proverbs 17 and 27. Understand this, man. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, man, you mean the most to the Most High. The Most High has ra'ah and kamal for you, Black people. He has consideration and he has compassion for you, Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He has love for you. You know what I'm saying? Read that when you get it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 27. He that hath knowledge spareth his words.
He that have knowledge spares his words. What does that mean? He that have knowledge watches his mouth. Watches his damn mouth. Right? He has consideration for what he's about to say. He has consideration for the things that come out of his mouth. He has compassion for what he's about to say. Keep going.
And the man of understanding is of an excellent spirit.
And the man of understanding is of excellent spirit. He knows why this man is watching his mouth. He knows why he's watching his own mouth. You know why? Because he's been taught to. Hebrews 5:12. He has been taught again. He has been woken up again. He has understanding again, different than what he learned before. He knows now that everything ain't good to say. He knows now that everything ain't good to eat. He knows now that everything ain't good to teach. He understands the importance of waking up to the fact that he's a black man, he's a Hispanic man, so on and so forth. And he understands the importance of the Most High gave his only begotten son for him so that he can be saved, so that he can wake up to these law, statutes, and commandments, so that he can save his people, same as Christ, man. He gained that wisdom through what? Through patience and comfort of the scriptures, man, through understanding, through showing ourselves to be approved, man, studying to show ourselves to be approved, man. He understood that through good brainwashing, he can raise up a nation, man. Read it again from the top.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 27. He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit.
Give me James 3:17. Understand this, man. Like my brothers be bringing out Monday through Friday, 7 to 9, man. We the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding Junior YAHANNA. We are here for Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans only, man. If you're Hispanic, man, you seeking refuge, man, you need food for your family, please contact the I.S.U.P.K near you, man. Go on your Google machine, type in I.S.U.P.K and say near me. The nearest one gonna pop up, man. Get in contact with that school. It should be a number right beside it if y'all need food, shelter, whatever, or hold a climb in. Call us, man. Hit us up, man. We on your side, man, above all else, because we are the righteous, man. We're the ones that doing what the Lord said to do. We're the ones that's waking our people up from the low state they in and putting them in that high place that the Most High wanting them to be, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Got that? When you get it, read.
This is the book of James, chapter 3, verse 17.
Uh-huh.
But the wisdom that is from above
Uh-huh.
is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated.
That's right, man. Listen, man. When we tell black people, man, that the Most High loves you and loves you more than anybody else, you got to understand that should put a peaceful spirit over you. That's gentle to hear. That's a good thing. That's a great thing to hear. When we tell you that the Lord don't want you to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, and then we break down the fundamental facts like the pork enzymes give you Alzheimer's when you get older. Pork enzymes give you diabetes, gout, high blood pressure, all these things. That should feel good to hear because we're saving your life. This wisdom is saving your life. Keep going.
Full of mercy.
Full of mercy, man. What is mercy, man? The scriptures say all of our righteousness is as filthy rags, man. What is that mercy? That mercy is us not perishing for whatever the hell we did before we came into the knowledge of the truth, before we came into the knowledge of the prophets and who we are. That's that mercy that the Lord has on us. That time for us to get right. That time for us to change our lives and come back to being Ra'ah and to being Kamal, to having compassion and consideration for each other. That's the grace. That's the mercy that the Lord has on us for not being Ra'ah and Kamal for so long. We're not dead. That's mercy of the Lord, man. You wake up every morning, bro, you need to thank the Lord because the Lord has Ra'ah and Kamal for you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. He has compassion and consideration. He understands the plight of what you've been through. He knows what you're going through today. He knows what you're going to go through. That's why he has Ra'ah and Kamal for us. We just have to learn how to have it for one another. We just have to learn how to have it for one another like we want them to have for us. Read that again.
This is the book of James, chapter 3, verse 17. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits.
That's right, man. What is good fruit? Good fruit. What is good fruit?
Good results.
Good results. Get that brother a hand, man. Good results is good fruit, man. Full of it. When you get that wisdom, man, and you apply it to your life, you get good fruit, man. Keep going. Good results.
With
Keep going.
without partiality.
Without what?
Without partiality.
Without partiality, man. Without breaking, bending a little bit here, a little bit there, man. Without giving you a little, man. It's straight to the point, man. Straight to the point. This truth is straight to the point. Drop that and give me Ephesians 5:15. This truth will always be straight to the point, man. And that's why a lot of times, man, you see us Black Hispanics teaching the truth. Sometimes it'll cut the skin deep. But just always realize that what we're saying is more important than how it's coming out. What we're saying is more important than the tone of how it's being said. Listen to what we're saying and apply it to your life, man, and see how the Most High works in your favor. It's Ephesians 5:15. Read that whenever you get a chance.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
What does circumspectly mean? What does circumspectly mean, y'all? Let's see what's going on. Okay, Yahweh Shemal Athah. How about Shimi Al-Shabarak to the brothers in the chat, man? Yahweh Shemal Athah about Shimi Al-Shah to the sisters, man.
This is
Water for
circumspect.
y'all coming in the class. Go ahead. Circumspectly. Circumspectly definition. Read it whenever you get it. CIRCUMSPECTLY.
This is the definition of circumspectly. To do something in a cautious, careful, and prudent manner, considering all the circumstances and potential considering all the circumstances, the circumstances and potential consequences before acting.
Oh, you need that. Need that. Read that one more time. Salaki.
To do something in a cautious, careful, and prudent manner.
Cautious and careful. Go ahead.
Considering all the circumstances.
Considering all. Go ahead.
The circumstances and potential consequences before acting.
The scripture says, see that ye walk circumspectly. Be what? See that you walk considerately. Be compassionate, right? And it says, not as fools, but as wise. Listen, man, these scriptures are all about having brotherhood. And in order to have brotherhood, you have to be compassionate. You have to be considerate. You have to take on the plight of one another. The scriptures also say, bear thee one another's burden, man. We bear each other's burdens here in the I.S.U.P.K. Does your Christian church bear your burdens? No, not at all. I think, what's that church? Joel Osteen. He had what did he have? During that last winter, I think he had like hundreds of homeless people outside, and he had his doors locked. What's the ones that had what's the church that had the money in the walls, Bonkiel? Which church had the money in the walls? Joel Osteen, man. Had the church locked. And in Houston, had the homeless outside freezing in the cold and had hundreds of thousands of dollars locked off in the walls, man. That's somebody who lacks consideration. That's somebody who lacks compassion. That's somebody who lacks ra'ah and kamal. Remember these words, man. It's important. Ra'ah and kamal. Your Christian pastor does not have these things, man. Here in the I.S.U.P.K, these things are bred into us. They are cut and carved into us. You know why? Because they make sure that we're going to have it for the men under us, and we're going to teach them the same things. Christianity doesn't teach you how to do anything but be a better sinner and a better adulterer and a better whore, a better whoremonger, a better sinner against the Most High, man. That's all it does, and it makes you feel comfortable about it, man. And all they're going to ask you to do is do what? Pay your tithes and pray. That's it. They don't give you a cure from your disease and your illness. They give you a acetaminophen. They give you a painkiller and then send you on out your way. We give you the cure. We cut the cancer out at the root by teaching you what? By teaching you Ra'ah and Kawal, man. And drop that and give me Zephaniah 2:1. This is my last scripture. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop out of here, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all 2 words. We just had to talk about these 2 words, man, because of what our Issachar brothers and sisters is going through on the border, man, and what they're going through in San Diego, what they're going through in Charlotte, North Carolina, South Carolina, so on and so forth, man. It's an amazing thing, and it's sad to see when your own people are the ones that's locking you up. That's the same feeling that black people get when a black person pulls him over and from the same neighborhood that he was in and locks him up. That's a terrible feeling, man. It's like, nigga, you grew up in the same hood I'm from. You from where I'm from. You locking me up for doing the same things that you do. It's a sad thing, man. Also, imagine you an illegal immigrant and you getting locked up and thrown on the ground by another illegal immigrant. Don't blame that brother. Don't blame that sister, man. You blame the devil who the Bible speaks of, man. You blame him for putting that spirit on them to where they think it's okay to do that. They think it's okay to mistreat one another. They think it's okay that it's better for you to be locked up than them and their family. And it's sad to say, but that's the times that we're in. We're in the times where now we put this oppressor so high above us and we gain all of his ways to do evil to each other, man. When we could just come together, man. When we could just separate and we could have our eye for one another. We could understand that being considerate of your children eating and you being considerate of my children eating, none of our children would starve. Well, we would come together and we would have compassion. We would understand that when your children are hurting and you thinking about my children hurting, no children will hurt. We will come together and find conclusions. But America teaches us to be selfish bastards. Christianity teaches us to be selfish bastards. And that's not the way of the Lord. Read that when you get it.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Gather yourselves together.
Come together, man. Go ahead.
Yea.
Uh-huh.
Gather together.
Gather together. Go ahead.
O nation not desired.
Oh, nation not desired, man. Nation that no one wants to be in society. Nation that's getting hunted down in the streets like cats and dogs. Nations that's get their stamps cut off and they've been put on the face of the snaps. Nations that, what else, man? First, last hired, first fired. Nations that you got to hide in damn holes. You can't go to work to feed your family. Those nations not desired in the earth. You ought to do what?
Gather yourselves together.
Gather yourselves together, man. Go ahead.
Yea. Gather together.
Yea, gather together. Uh-huh.
O nation not desired.
Oh, nation not desired, man. We got to understand this. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, we're all not wanted the same, man. No one wants to be you in the society. No one would trade places with you if their life depended on it. You know why that is? Because you're Black, because you're Hispanic, because you're Native Indian. They know what comes with being that type of people, being that particular set of people. America knows what comes with it. You go ask any white person, any Asian person, any African person, would you trade places with a Black, Hispanic, and Native American? They're going to tell you, hell no. You know why? Because they know what comes with it. And what comes with it? Raping, lynching, robbing, unaliving, so on and so forth, man. They understand the hell and the plight of a Black, Hispanic, and Native American, man, and they want no parts of it. They'll take all the good that comes with us, but they'll throw away all the bad, man. And with that, man, that's my time. Israelite, Israel with the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General YAHANNA started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I'm preaching Officer 500 about the Lashawan, and that concludes my class. And I'm gonna pass it over to Preaching Officer 500 Qadash Ya'Allah for the security announcement.
Cover it up. Security announcements with the I.S.U.P.K. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Operating under the leadership of Commander General YAHANNA. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother and sister come into the school, there are off limits for 6 months. They're here to share themselves with the world. Salaki. They're to be saluted only. Salaki, let me get to it. Salaki, they're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to her brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation, we got well, we do got the Passover, but we got the Hanukkah, the Feast of Dedication, which is the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, which is Sunday, the 14th December, 2025. You can find it in was it First Maccabees? What is it 4 and 52 through 61? You understand? Hey, look, man, let's go ahead and get our affairs together. You understand? We got the 57th annual Passover hosted by Commander Jenny Hanna. Get out of here. Damn right. That's right. That's right. You understand? $200 for children that's 17 and up. You understand? Man, go ahead and get everything you need. You understand? Because we about to show out in Texas, man. You understand? If anyone want to be a troop in the school to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf, and with that, I admonish them just the brothers. Minute Israel, we're going to render one courteous salute to the teacher. Minute Israel, my Shabbat. I admonish Barak. Yahweh, Shibbi, Abashah, Brakatah. Yahweh Matah. Sorry, me to turn. Sisters, I imagine me to stand, Baba Kisha. Yeah, to all right, what's up, guys? But the Israel, we're gonna read a one courteous salute to the sisters. But the Israel about Shabbat, I imagine Barak, Yahweh Shabbat, Lataba, Shibbi, Awashah. Yahweh Matah, class dismissed. Yeah, it is. It is, but it's good.